We'll put it like that.
Nice.
What's it like? I was actually there in attendance in Cleveland for Coe's first career NFL touchdown, which was awesome. And,
Awesome.
It was a great game. You could hear me on camera. I was just screaming, "Say it ain't so, Coe! Say it ain't so!" Sadly, from there, the game kind of went off the rails a little. That was the last high moment of that game, but it was a great game. Overtime loss, fun time.
Yeah.
But how was that moment for you? Seeing the first, whether it was on TV, in person, wherever you were, seeing his first NFL touchdown. How was that?
Well, dude, I mean, we were at home because it was a away game. We don't travel to a lot of the away games because we can get into that later. But, to watch that and to think I wished I was there live. So to have your video was so cool. And just say, this is so cool. I mean, that was so cool for us. Catching it from Tom Brady, right? Like, he's got the ball yet. First NFL touchdown means a lot, right? I mean, as a dad, that's just so cool to see. And it was fun to watch. And, it didn't have the outcome we wanted, but still the same. What a memory! What a memory to have, right? So,
and honestly,
cool.
those. One of the best guests ever, the Buccateers in the house. You guys hear him on Tampa radio all the time. He's one of the best in the business. My favorite personal in the business. That's why I'm elated tonight. Growing up in the Chicago area, you're used to sports radio. That's what gets me through the day. So this man does help get me through the day, I will say, with the Pat and Aaron show at work. Nothing like it. So it's incredible. It looks like we got Stunna bumbling in. I'm Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little clear. But we're joined by Pat Donovan.
It looks like Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like you got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
And he was trying to pull me in big time. And then I was like, nothing's happened with Indianapolis yet. Like, I really want to give Indy a chance. And then also I talked to Cody Bruton, once he took over Rich McCann, I'm still like, well, look, I was like, y'all just give me the opportunity to explore free agency, see what's going on, and then come out and make us do it.
All right, everyone, you are tuned into the Buccateers at wide receiver, Kalen Geiger, and we are about to have a great pod. This is the Buccateers. You're tapped in, and here we go. Howdy ho, howdy hey, how the hell is everybody? Welcome back into the Buccateers podcast. Hope you all have worn your stretchy pants for a couple days now, got those Thanksgiving leftovers still flowing, the turkey sandwiches and all that great stuff as we officially enter the holiday season. J-Lo, Tampa Tones here on the Buccateers podcast live, bringing you guys a whole lot of football talk in a short amount of time. J-Lo, we got a lot of great stuff on our hands. It's rivalry week. It's Ring of Honor game for the Buccaneers, for the great Simeon Rice, and we have so much more great stuff to talk about, including the never-ending Florida Gators head football coach drama, it seems. Brother, welcome in. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope the holidays are off to a great start, my friend.
Whew, man, I'm still bloated from the other day, man. Lots of eating, constantly, a couple some adult beverages to go with it.
Just don't fart or anything on this show, okay? No passing gas.
No. Nah, that was all yesterday, man. Getting it all out of me. But for the most part, I'm excited to talk some rivalry week. Of course, Florida football talk a little bit, just a little bit, because their season's been disappointing. But
we got Lucky Lucy in the Sunshine State. It's snowing here in Chicago. We're supposed to get potentially up to 8 inches today of snow. So supposed to be a snowstorm, they're calling it. It is blizzarding outside already. So if you're traveling in the Midwest today, if you were watching the Nebraska-Iowa football game at all yesterday in that snow, that's kind of what's heading towards the East Coast. So that's what we're going to be dealing with today. A lot of snow football games to be had. That means Northwestern, U of I. That'll be a fun rivalry game in the snow, perhaps. So, J-Lo, you know what that means. This time of year, November, December, January, snow football, bring it on. In the Midwest, you're going to get a lot of these environments that might not only impact the game, but might be a fun one to watch.
Oh, absolutely. I always like those snow football games. Very intriguing, watching those young men go out there and ball out in the snow. It's like your little kid, having a snowball fight, for the most part, from what I've noticed. But it'll be really interesting. It makes the game more fun, more challenging for, the better team.
My buddy, who's a U of I season ticket holder, you'll meet him at Bucs Panthers, good guy. But he's down there today, and he got down there yesterday just because of the snow. And he's like, man, nobody's down here. It's a ghost town. Nobody's going to be there because of the travel. So that's another thing. It does impact the crowds. It does impact the stadium travel and all that stuff as well. So be on the lookout. Definitely U of I Northwestern today. If not, a handful more of other games are going to be snowball fights. Northern played yesterday. If they would have played today, that one would have been a snowful fest, as well as Northern ended their time in the MAC yesterday. J-Lo, they took a beating from Kent State, and now they're off to the Mountain West, which is rebuilding significantly next year. The Mountain West isn't going to look anything like it has in years past. We'll get into that here in a little bit, but just college football programs on the move, coaches on the move. So much to talk about here today. Greetings from snowy Nebraska. Yep, there's another Midwest experience that's getting snow right now. Like we said, if you watch Iowa, Nebraska yesterday in Nebraska, it was snow. Sick as hell, but I haven't missed one Ring of Honor induction, so I'll be there. That's our guy right there. We got to give it up for our guy, Tyler. J-Lo, he's a great Bucs fan. His seats are row 1, right in the club level. Just incredible stuff. But that's going to be a lit atmosphere tomorrow, my friend. Simeon Rice, Ring of Honor game. Although Moose Johnson's on the call, a little deflated there because he does have a little Mike Elstad jealousy in him. It's time to honor a Buccaneer and Simeon Rice. Thoughts on that tomorrow, J-Lo, 1 o'clock Eastern in Tampa.
Oh, it's going to be a real treat for the most part. Simeon Rice, probably the best pass rusher we ever had. No knock on Shaq Barrett, JPP, and the rest of the guys that have been on the team. But Simeon Rice was just a game changer. The guy would just go in there, get to the quarterback, and just change the game on third down, getting off the field or creating turnovers. So it's great that he finally gets honored by the Bucs, because to me, he's a guy we talked about on the last show that's definitely Hall of Fame worthy, first ballot, but he's still waiting for his turn to be called. But I'm excited for him. It's gonna be a fun time watching him get inducted.
Our gal Trisha in the house. We love our lady listeners. I'll be there tomorrow. We hope you're loud and proud, Trisha. We hope you're cheering on Simeon Rice and this Buccaneers team to a victory. We need it. We need it. We need it. And what a better way to get a win, J-Lo, when you're railing a little bit than to get one in front of a legend. Not only a legend, but legends like John Gruden and others will be in the house to watch Buccaneers Cardinals. And J-Lo, usually Ring of Honor games are great to begin with, but this one, it bricks me up a little bit more, which, by the way, I guess a lot of older generation doesn't know what brick up means, because I was saying it at Thanksgiving and my uncles were like, what the hell? That's a whole other conversation to be had. But regardless, it bricks me up a little more, J-Lo, because it is against a team that gave up on him in the Arizona Cardinals. To me, that adds some cool fuel to the fire, some intensity into the matchup.
Oh, yeah, Arizona, they regret that one big time. Seeing what he did coming here and winning a Super Bowl, that's just going to be more intriguing. And plus, I know some Arizona fans will be there probably wishing, like, man, that could have been him with us. But, hey, he was a Buck.
They could use that Wolverine gif or meme or whatever the hell you want to call it when they're sitting in bed looking at the picture, Simeon Rice just all depressed and sad. And yeah, hey, we get the feeling. Bucs fans have been there with players before, but not with Simeon Rice. That is for sure. As J-Lo and I live here on the Buccateers, I believe Joey Nips will be joining eventually, so we'll see what happens. 6 to midnight for Rice is a great Bud Cannibalist. Joins the show, joins the program. What's up, Bud? We welcome you in from the West Coast. Hope all is going well. I know you're not getting snow like we are here in Chicago, but that adds for fun football games, as J-Lo and I were talking about. If you're a fan of snow games, going to be a lot of them this weekend, including Northwestern U of I. And yesterday you had Nebraska, Iowa. Anything in the Midwest is capable of having a snow game right now. Joining us live on Facebook, the great Dave Castle. Shout out to him. Love you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. John Ariel, great uncle of mine. Actually, one of the ones confused about the brick up is joining. So, maybe that'll clarify some things. But J-Lo, I bricked for this game tomorrow. Buccaneers, I believe, are actually doing a little something out of the real with their uniforms too, I believe, for a home game at 1 o'clock Eastern. I believe they're wearing red tomorrow. Isn't that right?
Yeah, the red and white pants. That's really different one what we're used to seeing on a day football game for the most part. The weather's going to be nice, so it doesn't surprise me they're going with the red jerseys. But I will say the white pants definitely caught me off guard a little bit. But, hey, I'm all for it.
As we alluded to in previous episodes when people have asked, the uniforms, they usually save the red for either this time of year at home, like J-Lo alluded to, if the weather's looking nice in November, December, or if it's a night game. So this is a rare opportunity where the weather looks feasible and it's a non-night game, and they're not playing the best of ball right now. So why not change things up a little bit and see? Oh boy, we'll explain the bricked up, and we'll call it bricked up day eventually, and we'll explain what pretty much you're excited and ready to roll. That's what that means. Snow games are great from the couch. Beautiful sight. Yeah, and I mean, you got your beer in the mini fridge a couple feet away. I've been to a couple snow games before. I've been to a matching game, Northern Illinois, where me and my buddy couldn't move our toes after the game. It was snowing. It was like 0 degrees out. There were like 30 fans in the stands. Mind you, it was Ball State against Northern Illinois. So nothing like a little Tuesday night snow football where you can't even wiggle your toes after. It's awesome. Just great stuff there. J-Lo, I'm sure you probably never been to a snow game, as I don't think the first time you've seen snow was until last November?
Yeah, the closest I've been to as far as their cold game, which I thought it was going to snow, was probably the Baltimore Bucs game back in 2018. I was there, front row of the end zone. That was pretty cool. The only thing that sucked was when it was raining, pretty much, I feel like icicles were hitting my bat the whole time. Back, and I was like, oh, God, this is terrible. Man, God knows how the snow would feel. I couldn't wait to get back in the Airbnb and take a hot shower for an hour.
You never know out there. You're lucky because Baltimore does provide that atmosphere sometimes as well. And, J-Lo, I don't know about you, but right now, it is kind of fun. Speaking of fun, Joe Burrow's fun. Our guy Brian Crook says Joe Burrow's back. Houday Nation. So Bengals fans, they looked really good. We're going to get into the Turkey Trot where we talk about some of these games the past couple days. Olivia, good morning. Good morning, Olive. We love our lady listeners. First lady of the Buccateers as well. But J-Lo, kind of looking at Twitter. I don't know about you. You never know who's right. You never know who's wrong. But it seems like there's a lot of smoke and mirrors building up today about coaches getting hired or soon to be hired in college football. You have LSU, you have Florida, you have a couple other, obviously Penn State, a couple other big time programs out there as well. Arkansas still in need of a head coach. Some of the smaller schools, you see the new pack kind of doing a nice job filling in, right? Oregon State hires Alabama's offensive coordinator. You got Mora Jr. going to the pack. So they're making some good moves. But for some of the bigger chairs, bigger programs to fall, J-Lo, the Penn States, the Floridas, the LSUs, the Arkansas of the world, we're starting to see a lot of smoke, hear a lot of smoke on what's going to happen. And, I mean, I think you could still have a big-time coach at a school, whether it's a DeBoer at Alabama, whether it's a Lincoln Riley at USC. I think one of these guys could be on the move. Goalish, too. I know USF isn't that big of a program yet. We heard he has a handshake agreement with Arkansas, so who the hell knows? But I think, J-Lo, over the next 48 hours or so, you're going to hear a couple of these guys on the move. And then what does that do? It'll open up a seat at USF. Maybe John Gruden. It'll open up a seat at Alabama, maybe USC. So, J-Lo, there's going to be a lot of movement, which is going to fill a lot of seats. But in my opinion, Ole Miss it's going to open up a lot of seats. It's just really weird. A lot of teams are waiting a long time now. The fact that Penn State is waited this long, the fact that Florida's waiting, James Franklin, Virginia Tech, that was kind of a perfect match. We talked about it. But other than that, even the little schools kind of waited, right? And I heard that Stanford, they hired their coach, former Commanders quarterbacks coach as well. I heard that was a coveted job with Andrew Luck there. Now I heard that Jim Mora Jr. wanted the Stanford job and didn't get it. So a lot of people are playing the waiting game, and now the dominoes are starting to fall. Stanford, Colorado State, and Oregon State, Virginia Tech. Today, maybe more, J-Lo, thoughts?
No, definitely. It all starts with Lane Kiffin. He's been the main puzzle piece of if he's going to leave Ole Miss or not. And when that decision is made, then you're going to start seeing a bunch of crazy moves, crazy hires. I know Summerall's in the waiting from Tulane. He's been a hot name for 2 or 3 universities, and also with Florida as well. Lincoln Riley is another interesting one because I've heard some strong rumors that he may want to, hop over, and he'll get a nice payday. It just depends, but it's very intriguing how these universities have waited so long, especially Penn State in particular, because they fired their coach, about a month ago? And now they're still waiting. We're not even hearing any interviews. We're just hearing that they're close to hiring somebody. We're hearing names. So after when Lane Kiffin makes that decision, then that's where I think the domino effect just falls completely to where you're going to see teams like LSU, Florida hire their new coaches. I feel Lane's going to stay. But at the same time, he hadn't signed an extension, so it raises questions. Is he really going to LSU or not? So that's going to be a big one right there. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it ends up in the next 24 hours, really, because Lane Kiffin's going to make a decision hopefully by today or tomorrow or tonight, and then we'll hear something in the morning going into NFL Sunday.
And J-Lo, 2 things could be happening at Penn State, in my opinion, before we get to more Bucs talk. Jimmy Coletta says, good morning, fellow Buccateers. Good morning, Olivia and Bear Down. They're already rivaling it up against Green Bay, Chicago. But J-Lo, 2 things come to mind. Yeah, there we go. Go Bucs. I was going to say this chat's getting a little out of hand here. Whoa. Let's get back here. But yeah, whoa. But J-Lo, 2 things come to mind here for me with Penn State. To me, it could be like we're kind of saying they could be waiting for one of these other cats to become available. You never know with Alabama, never know with some of these other head coaches who might be on the move. Or is it kind of a litmus test for interim head coach Terry Smith to say, hey, you were thrown in this situation. You lost Drew Eller at quarterback. A lot of these guys could have given up easily because they were expecting a championship run, and they were 3-3 at one point. James Franklin gets fired. Drew Aller goes down. Terry Smith comes in. You lose a heartbreaker to a very good Iowa team in Iowa. Probably should have won that game. You go to 3-4. You go to Ohio State, best team in the country. You battle your ass off till the 4th quarter. Then they pull away a little bit. You go to 3-5. You play the second best team in the country, Indiana. You should have beat them. You fall to 3-6. So really right there, you should have beat Iowa and Indiana at the least. You should have went 2-1 against 3 very good top 25 college football teams. And then what happened again? You're 3-6. Penn State could have easily folded up, could have said, hey, we're done here. We're 3-6. What do? They kept battling. They go into Michigan State's house. They roll them. They face a top 25 ranked Nebraska team most of the season. They kick their ass. Now today, J-Lo, they're facing Rutgers. In Rutgers, a very well-coached team by Greg Schiano. They're fighting for a bowl game, too. Winner gets into a bowl game. Maybe Penn State's waiting, J-Lo, to see, hey, if Terry Smith gets us to this bowl game, keeps the team rallying, keeps fighting, ends up having success, maybe that's what they're waiting for. Or do you think it's another guy out there they're kind of waiting on? Because remember, last week after the game, too, Penn State players were holding up signs saying, hire Terry Smith. Fans were chanting, Terry, as he walked off the field. Is that a sign of things to come, you think, for Penn State?
I would think so. You would think as a university, you want to listen to the fans, the students on what they would want to lead the team. And Smith has done a good job going in there, competing, keeping these boys hyped up. Even with the quarterback's a freshman, right? The quarterback took over for Geralder. A freshman going in there playing at a high level against these really good teams. To me, that would be very intriguing if they decide to go ahead and just make Smith the head coach. Or they're waiting for the Alabama coach. I mean, that's a big name. If you have opportunity to go get a really good coach like him, not to pluck him from Alabama, that I can see why Penn State's holding off. But I think Smith is the backup plan if they don't get the Alabama coach, DeBoer, I believe it's his name. So that's a very intriguing wait. That's what I'm saying. The next 24 to 48 hours, there's going to be a lot of craziness going on. And either we're going to be excited or we're going to be disappointed. But it's coming. In the meantime, we just got to enjoy rivalry week while we still can and watch these teams battle it out, try and make a playoff spot, try and make a conference championship. It's going to be very intriguing. A&M went down, so now Alabama's got a chance to make the SEC championship game if they win.
And you're starting to see, like, North Texas coach get plucked, USF coach get plucked, obviously. You know, a couple of the UConn coach get plucked. So you're starting to see the guys take leaps to bigger programs, J-Lo. Last talk about it here on me on Penn State and my thoughts. My top three, I want to keep Terry Smith as first choice, DeBoer number 2 from Alabama, but a pluck of a small school candidate for the Penn State Nittany Lions. If they did that, I would want Bob Chesney, the James Madison head coach, who's gone in there and done a good job. And then Lane Kiffin I put 4th just because I think he's unrealistic for Penn State. But since he's available, technically, you got to throw him in there. So that's my top 4 wish list right there. Terry Smith, Kalen DeBoer from Iowa, Chesney from James Madison, Lane Kiffin right there. Of realistic candidates, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, Lane isn't that.
Well, no, I mean, it's a good list. Just like for me, Lane was my number 1 choice for Florida. Now I'm looking at Jeff Fisk from Washington. He's somebody
I love really Jed Fish.
Huh?
I love Jed Fish.
Yeah. He's a graduate from Florida. He's a graduate assistant from Steve Spurrier. So I know they've had conversations. He would be a good guy to bring down there. I think he's the perfect candidate. And I think the fans want him now. They're pushing for him to come. I'm hearing Lincoln Riley's name pop out, but I think it's going to be hard for us to pluck him from USC. So that's realistically my list right there was Lane, Fisk, and then Lincoln Riley. I mean, I don't care for some
Only thing though, J-Lo, does it concern you that Arizona college football has gotten almost a little bit better since Jed Fish has left, one would argue?
Oh, yeah, they have. I mean, they stepped up to the plate. They're a university that tends to lose their coach to another job, like some of these smaller universities, but they managed to keep going and hire the right guy in there to coach these boys up. So shout out to Arizona. I mean, they're competing.
And we're going to be talking about Bucs Arizona NFL level here in a bit. Bud says always appreciating the Eagles smackdown, as do J-Lo and I. I think Joey Nips is sockless, lost in the abyss or something. J-Lo and I are trying to get a hold of him. We'll keep you guys posted if Joey Nips could be found this morning. We'll see
where's Waldo.
Yeah, maybe he's in a brothel face down somewhere, not looking too good or something, but we'll do a wellness check soon. By the way, breadwinners record from August, because we count it when preseason Hall of Fame games started. We started our breadwinners record 52-27 plus $418 positive on the season. We're 2-0 in our first seasons. We're well on our way to a 3-0 start here for our breadwinner seasons. Remember, we do football is one season, non-football is one season. And at the end of the season, if we're plus record, plus money, it counts as a win. So we're 2-0. Oh, wow. So, kid obviously doesn't care about getting others sick then, I'm guessing. We'll talk about that off air, buddy. We'll talk about that off air.
Love you too, man.
Yeah, I hope you feel better. And, hope I don't get sick. Pray for your boy over here now, too, if that guy's going down. Speaking of going down, we hope the Bucs don't go down this Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern. J-Lo, Kevin Burkhardt, and Moose Johnson on the call. Fox gets the game. Final injury report is in. Rashad Wisdom, Benjamin Morrison ruled out for this Buccaneers team, J-Lo. The practice window just was open for Rashad Wisdom. So, he has a couple more weeks to get back. Thoughts on those two being ruled out? Secondary takes a little bit of a hit again.
It's very unfortunate with the injuries like that when it comes to Morrison. He's been battling these hamstrings all season long. I don't know what's going on with that. Hopefully he'll be able to overcome it and get out there and play because he needs the reps. Wisdom, I think we'll see him back next week. I think they'll just give him another week, to kind of like speed things up, get the playbook down, get ready for special teams because we desperately need special teams coverage for the most part. But it's good to get some of the guys back, some of the important pieces like Dean, Riddick, and all of them. I think they're all in play for the most part. But Morrison, we'll see what's going on with him, with these hammies. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Bud Cannibalist says, get well soon, Joey. Yeah, well, he's fine. He's hiding. So, wow, breaking news. Frank Ragnow fails physical, will not return for the Lions this year. Remember, right before the Thanksgiving game, J-Lo, was a little bit of a breaking news update that Frank Ragnow is coming out of retirement to play for the Lions again, kind of help shore up that O-line. Now, J-Lo, Dan Campbell's going to be crying a little bit more today.
Oh, yeah, no, he's that. Unfortunately, he retired, and sometimes,
yeah,
you don't come back in the best shape, and now Dan Campbell's got to figure this out, to get this team back on the winning page because they're struggling right now, if you ask me.
Yeah, I still think we'll see. Come on the show. If you need to bring your lady on, bring her on. We'll introduce her. We'll warm her up. But we are live here on the Buccateers. Oh, wow. The reveal to J-Lo, huh? There we go. Our guy, Michael Plus, saying, hi, friends. Bucs enter playoffs tomorrow. Yes, sir. Our guy, let's go. If I could say, yeah, there we go. For having confidence, our guy Plus. Speaking of confidence, our friends over at the Scarlet Standard always showing great confidence in their UNLV Rebels under head coach Dan Mullen. I want to give a shout out to them. This is a shirt they sent me, beautiful shirt. And we actually will be collabing with them, I believe, whatever weekend the Rebels bowl game lines up with, or the Scarlet Knights, whatever bowl game the Scarlet Knights line up with, we will be right there. And we were going to do a UNLV collab, hopefully that game day, that Saturday showdown with these gents. So kudos to them. They gave us some merch to give away earlier this year. They gave away me this. Follow them at the Scarlet Standard. They do a great job. But rounding out the injury report, coughing. Rounding out the Bucs injury report, J-Lo. Questionables is followed. True coin flips, it seems. Ben Bredesen, Jamel Dean, Bucky Irvin, The Bake Show, Nelly, and Hassan Reddick. Who out of that bunch do you think suits up for this Bucs team?
I got to say Hassan Reddick. We have not had a pass rush since he's been gone, not getting any pressure. So having him back is going to be huge to help out Yaya Diaby. I feel with him being bad, the pass rush should be able to apply pressure and get up to the quarterback.
A big one ruled out for the Arizona Cardinals, Walter Knoll, the D lineman. He is a young menace. He's a rookie. He is a unit, so that's big. Also big, Trey Benson, their starting running back, isn't returning yet this week. That's another big one. Amari DiMercato is out this week, too, and other running backs. So some hefty injuries there. Will Hernandez is out. Christian Jones, the O-lineman, is out. And then Dadrian Taylor DeMenson is out as well. The only ones on the up and up, which look nice for them, it seems like Marvin Harrison will return. Bam Knight, a guy to keep an eye on, as well as he's questionable as they're getting thin on running backs, J-Lo. Then you got a couple other questionables, Kelvin Beachum, Hayden Connor. Thoughts on Arizona's injury report as well?
Well, Walter Nolan being out, that's huge because our O-line has been in shambles last two to 3 weeks on protecting Baker. So to me, that's huge to where we should be able to run the ball on them, keep Baker protected because, he's playing. It's scary, but at the same time, Baker's a tough dude. He'll go out there and do what he has to do. But Walter Nolan, also Harrison Jr. being back. But because we got Dean possibly coming back, it should, even up the matchup pretty well because Zion's been getting eaten up like a bad habit, man. So having Dean back to cover Harrison Jr., that's going to be a good matchup to watch.
It'll be really good. And remember, Dean rated top corner, and PFF, nothing against him. They're great guys. Thank you for doing what you do for the game, but their ratings, take them with an absolute grain of salt. I mean, I didn't see it the other day. Somebody was getting roasted. I forget who was ranked the top player on a team, but it's just like some of their rankings are, but, you know, it is what it is. And what can you do? And Jamel Dean is ranked the number 1 rated corner. So if you are a fan of their rankings, then there you go. Jamel Dean is rated the top corner for their rankings over at PFF. Bud Cannibalist says, absolutely, Bud. J-Lo, it's seemingly more and more likely now that guys like McMillan, guys like Cansey, guys like Evans will be back sooner rather than later. And to me, J-Lo, Cansey's a freaking warrior. I think he realizes his importance to this team, what he does to this defense. And honestly, no disrespect to Mike McMillan, the other banged-up guys, I really think Elijah Cansey for this team is the biggest difference maker at this point. Seeing the defense's vulnerability the past couple of weeks, J-Lo, I think that's the biggest key for the Buccaneers this year if they get Elijah Cansey back more than anybody else.
Oh, absolutely. Cansey, for being way ahead of his recovery, that's just incredible. What a tough SOB, man. Just healing up, working his way back. He'll be huge coming back to a playoff time because we're going to really, really need him against these really good top dog NFC teams. And McMillan with the neck brace off, that's promising. That shows that we could be seeing him back sometime in December, we hope, and then Mike as well. But for the most part, Cansey, that's just huge. That's just awesome, just seeing him working his way back.
The great Nancy and Angela are watching on Facebook Live as well. As that place is booming. Always appreciate it. We're live on YouTube. If you're watching live on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn the notification bell on. You'll never miss a show. Today, we're going to be doing a bunch of holiday Christmas giveaways coming up. Do not miss it. We've done a ton of great ones so far this year. Our guy, Mike Martinez from Big Rican on Sports says, go Bucs. Both Bucs for that matter. Great show, boys. Yes, remember, he's an Ohio State guy. It's rivalry week for them as they do play Michigan today. We'll hope to get J-Lo back here. He's just going to be joining us here again shortly. He's just trying to get his camera up and running. It's behind a little bit, so J-Lo will be right back. But yeah, big game today, Ohio State against Michigan, one of the most prolific rivalries in college football and sports in general, maybe the biggest rivalry in all of sports. So good luck today to our guy Mike Martinez and his Ohio State Buckeyes over there. J-Lo, would you agree? Maybe the biggest rivalry in sports, Ohio State, Michigan?
Oh yeah, definitely one of the biggest rivalries, you know, in the sports, especially around the last couple of decades. They always been the top dogs battling out. Usually the winner of that game usually goes to the conference championship and then the national championship for the most part. So it's a great rivalry, and it's going to be fun to watch. Michigan might be a team that could be a trap game for Ohio State. This might be a really good game.
And ladies and gentlemen, the newest entrant into the War Game match, I believe, breaking news, Joey Nips and Corey Hayes have been added into War Games. We'll go ahead and give him a little round of applause in there. Joey Nips, welcome in, brother. How we doing?
Oh, doing good. I mean, we learned a lot yesterday. Nebraska's a joke of an organization. The Philadelphia Eagles offense is broken. Texas A&M is a fraud, and Arch Manning led the Texas Longhorns to victory. So that's what I learned yesterday. I'm ready to see it. Arizona kicker came through for y'all, it looks like. He missed one, but he came through with a couple nice kicks there for you. So, and then, yeah, Florida might hire Mascot Blue. It looks like they're about at that point with their coaching search right now. So a lot of things going on. And welcome to be a part of the War Games Survivor Series night with the WWE on the 4-Letter Network.
I love this time of year. You have so much good sports on. Now you get wrestling into the mix. We got our guy Icewater Olson into the mix. Sup, y'all. Sup, our great friend over at Bucs Report. Speaking of great friend, we got the great A-Cats joining us. It seems like A-Cats, I know you've been traveling, brother. Hope all is well with you. Hope Thanksgiving was great, my friend. How the hell are you doing?
Yes, doing well. Thanksgiving was great. I can't complain. The food was good. The company was good. And we needed a Bucs win to make it a really good holiday weekend.
Yeah, Cats and I will be getting back with our history show here in the near future. Sorry about dropping it on Monday. That was on me, but we'll be back with you guys in the near future with the holiday show for the Bucs, giving our favorite holiday sports moments from Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, other holidays from around the globe as well. Going to be a tough one for Ohio State. Yeah, I mean, Michigan's no pushover. We'll get into all that here shortly. But speaking of pushovers, Arizona hasn't been a pushover with Jacoby Brissett, ladies and gentlemen. So, Joey, who is your Cardinals player to look out for? I know you're a Colts guy, but Cardinals gave the Colts a good test earlier this year, so you have watched them. You know them. Who is your Cardinal player to watch out for this Sunday?
I'm going to stick with Jacoby Brissett because he's had a couple of starting opportunities in Indianapolis.
Real quick, fun fact. This will be the first time Jacoby Brissett has played the Buccaneers since 2019 that I have not been at the game, and it's his fourth different team. How wild is that? 2019, Joey and I were at the game, Colts Bucs, Jacoby Brissett started. 2022, I was at Cleveland when Jacoby Brissett started. In 2021, I was at Bucs Dolphins in Tampa. Kind of crazy, but continue.
Yeah, no, I was just saying Jacoby Brissett, he started for the Colts a couple of times, and the things I've learned about him is it's simple. If the Bucs pass rush continues to be how it is and doesn't really get to the QB, he could sit there back there all day as the veteran he is and make completions happen. To me, if I'm Tampa Bay tomorrow, I'm being relentless on him. He is not good under pressure. He moves okay, but he doesn't move too great, and that's the difference in the ball game to me. How much can you get to the legs and get to him off his spot? Because he will make the precise throw if he has plenty of time. But you got to shuffle him around. He's not really a quote-unquote scrambler, even though he has a little bit of speed, as I mentioned. But he's a professional backup quarterback, probably one of the best backup quarterbacks in the National Football League. And honestly, Arizona chose him over Kyler Murray, even if Kyler Murray was healthy at one point a few weeks to about a month and a half back. So I, watch a lot of Bucs football along with Tones, and I just think we just the pass rush. Hey, if people are saying the corners are hurt, don't let them cover as long. Then blitz the living. If they're going to get beat at a point in time anyway, they don't have as good a wideouts as Devontae Adams either in the gang. But just bring more pressure then. If they're going to be left on islands regardless, like McCollum was a little bit out of place sometimes, just bring the blitz to me. Get the pressure on Jacoby and make him beat you. The running game isn't going to be much of a factor with all the third and fourth string running backs they're playing, and that's who I look for. Get pressure on Jacoby.
Yeah, I'm not really too worried about, as you alluded to, Michael Carter's and Zonovan Knight's, and Bam Knight's a little banged up as well, as DeMarcado's ruled out, Trey Benson's ruled out, James Conner remains out for the year on IR. Cats, I think Jacoby's a good one. Bud Cannibal says McBride, the great tight end over there. Who would you look out for on this Arizona team?
Josh Sweat. He's having a great season. From what I've seen, signed him to a big money deal. Coming off the Super Bowl win, and it seems to me, you can correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm totally mixed up here, that he's having quite an impact this season on a not very good team, but a fairly good defense from what I've seen.
Yeah, you're right. He does have 9 sacks, Cats, which is tied for 7th among the lead leaders in the league. And he has 3 forced fumbles, which is tied for 4th in the NFL amongst the league leaders. So, this is a guy who's going to try and get after Baker, Teddy B, whoever might be under center, and he's going to try and disrupt the game. And the Bucs are still without starting O-lineman, obviously, with Mock being out for the year. Their O-lineman's always going to be a little vulnerable. I think Sweat is a big one you got to look out for. J-Lo,
can I just expound on that for a second, Jones?
Yeah.
So this will be, we'll see what happens. Going into the Bucs O-line this season has played only 1 full game, with 4 of the 5 projected healthy starters, and that was in week 1. And that was with Wirfs out, and you had Barton at left tackle. The second game, Gadecki got hurt, left the game, and then we know Mock was out for the season, but he finished the game. The only other time was the first series against the Patriots. We had 4 of the 5. Bredesen got hurt in the extra point try. So that's been a lot to deal with, I think, for the Bucs. It kind of gets overlooked, in my opinion. I don't know how anyone can possibly look. I mean, you think about that. Last year, we had at least 4 starters every game, and most of the time we had 5. This year, it's been 3 or 5. So hopefully, knock on wood, maybe this will be the second time. Maybe we can go this game without an O-lineman going down. That would be nice. It would be nice to see 4 of the 5 again together, with Wirfs as one of them.
Yeah, and I think you're 100% right, Katz. I mean, I guess the only good thing that it did early in the season was expose these guys to reps and opportunities that if they do need to step on later in the year, okay, maybe they're a little more battle-tested. But I think you're right, given this cohesiveness of a unit, it's still going to be one of the first times, they're maybe at their healthy, if Bredesen does suit up. I mean, this is going to be the healthiest this O-line will get for the remainder of the season with Mock out for the year. So you're going to have to figure it out with Wirfs, Bredesen, Barton, and Gadecki, whoever fills in at right guard, looking like Feeney at this point. Going to have to be a cohesive unit out there, and it starts at Sunday tomorrow, Arizona, 1 o'clock Eastern. Going to be interesting to see. J-Lo, who say you? Cardinal to watch out for. 2 good choices so far. Josh Sett, Jacoby Brissett.
I'm going to say Budda Baker. You can't sleep on him either at safety. He's another guy who's having a good year as well. I feel he's definitely going to be all over watching the coverage, probably blitz Baker a few times, because without Walter Nolan now, they're going to have to do some blitzing. So Budda Baker's another one to watch out for. I think it's going to be a little bit of a problem child, throwing the ball against.
Kind of crazy how much talent this team has and how much little wins they got, right? And I'm going to go with Marvin Harrison Jr. Since McBride was mentioned in the comments, I like to keep mentioning different people. I'll go with Marvin Harrison Jr. Looks like he'll probably be back from an appendix surgery, which is brutal sounding. He was playing really good football with Jacoby Brissett right before he went out with an appendix. So it seems like they have good rapport. And with Dean a little banged up, no Benjamin Morrison, Rashad Wisdom's out, secondary's banged up a little bit. I think the Cardinals could try and attack without a running game. The secondary, much like we've seen Puka and Devontae tear us up last week. I would keep an eye on and circle twice Marvin Harrison Jr. for this Cardinals team. J-Lo, what's your score prediction thoughts and player of the game thoughts for the Buccaneers tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern, with Katz's favorite Moose Johnson on the call?
I think it's going to be not the high score of a game because I know they're going to try to run the ball more and protect Baker, keep him from passing. So give me the Bucs 21, Arizona 13. I think it'll be a competitive game, but for the most part, I think the Bucs close it out. And MVP, I say it's Bucky Irving. Him returning is going to create a lot of huge plays. I think he's going to be splashing back onto the scene.
Did you see some of the ridiculous media questions to Bucky too? Like, oh, how were you feeling when you were gone? What, are you glad to be back? Asking him all this stupid. It's like, leave the guy alone. Obviously, he was going through a tough time. Now he's back. Jeez, could never go great. But Bucky, the Buck is back. A-Cats, score prediction, player of the game for the Bucs Cardinals.
So I think the Bucs take this 24-17. I think having Jamel Dean back, the numbers show it. I don't have them off the top of my head, but what the Bucs defense allows with him in the lineup versus without, it's a stark contrast. And I don't like to think of life without him, so I still hold out hope that they somehow bring him back. But for the time being, let's enjoy him while we have him and hope he stays healthy. I'm not going to name him my player of the game, though. Give me Hassan Reddick. Reddick is not high in the sack total, but the pressure rate for the Bucs is much higher when he's in there. I mean, nothing against Anthony Nelson, but Reddick does create pressure on the quarterback. He hadn't been able to convert it into a ton of sacks, but getting him and Dean back should help this defense. And is one of his former teams. And give me Reddick to have a nice game.
And that's exactly why last week, and, I still think Bowles could have done a little more, but his hands are a little tied when your 2 best pressure guys, Reddick and Kancey, are sidelined, and your number 1 corner is sidelined. Your hands are tied a little bit and kind of drawing up the blitzes. So hopefully Reddick's return intensifies the pressure on Jacoby Brissett, even if he doesn't land some sacks. Joey, what say you, score prediction, player of the game for the Bucs?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Cardinals stats. 3 of their top tacklers are safeties, which sometimes could, mean that your front 7 is not really getting a lot done in the run game. I think the Bucs run game tomorrow will be important. you alluded to Bucky. I won't mention him too much, but everybody involved in the run game, they just need to get that going first, so that way there's not as much pressure on the QB. And then people forget that here's a trivia question for those folks out there 10 years down the road. Jacoby Brissett had the most pass attempts in a game a few weeks ago. So look to run the ball, look to stop Jacoby Brissett. To me, Bucs can get this win. They'll get 27 points. Cardinals will get 20. And my player of the game, you know what? Let's get Chris Godwin a touchdown. I think it's time for him to get in the end zone. You know, he's had a couple of weeks here where he's just getting his feet kind of back under him with a couple of injuries this year. So I'll go 27-20, and I'll have Godwin getting a touchdown.
Yeah, Godwin, I like that pick a lot. I think they're going to try and utilize him greatly in the underneath game while the Baker is injured or Teddy B's in the game. I think that is a perfect guy you want in this situation because Godwin is a mastermind at kind of running those under the radar routes. And I mean, my goodness, is that coaching ineptness or what? I mean, I love Jacoby as a backup, but if he's throwing that many passes in football games, you're doing something wrong as a coach and staff. So hopefully we let it rip. And interesting fact, Cardinals haven't scored more than 27 points in a game this season. So that's kind of the threshold for tomorrow if you're the Bucs. Can you get to 27-plus points? You should win that football game. How do they do it? With the help of a guy named Sir Chase McLaughlin kicking 2 to 3 field goals and making all his extra points. Wouldn't be shocked if we get 8 to 10 points off the leg from Chase alone tomorrow. I think he has a huge game when our special teams kind of need somebody to step up. I'm thinking big time Bucs win 31-21. They bounce back. They brick up Simeon Rice and kind of have a really fun day out there, which is much needed. But I'm not going to get it wrong. Win any way necessary. I don't care if it's a 3-2 win. I don't care how ugly it is. Go out there and win this fucking football game. Don't listen to people saying you got to do this, you got to do that. Win, win, win. I agree. Bucs should run it 30, 40 times if possible. Win ugly if need. Get some field goals, get some touchdowns. See what they got to do. Our guy, Real Bucs Talk, the great Michael Plus, saying Bucs should run heavy and win 28-13. But I think the Bucs could run heavy with Rashad. Now you got Buck back. You still got Tuck. I wouldn't be shocked if each of them get at least 6 carries on the ground in the game and really divvy it up and go from there. So it's a Buck fest. Hopefully it's a Bucs win. 1 o'clock Eastern tomorrow on Fox. And speaking of tomorrow, Joey, Colts have a big game tomorrow as they're vying to cool off one of the hottest teams in the league, the Houston Texans.
Yeah, and it all starts with both quarterbacks. C.J. Stroud will be back for the first time in 3 weeks now, where they did go 3-0 without Mr. C.J. Stroud. Davis Mills did a good job of filling in there while he was in concussion protocol. And then Daniel Jones has the fibula where he's practiced in full all week. He was limited 1 day, but it has clearly slowed him down with his speed a little bit. So those are the 2 players to watch. I mean, Texans have had the division the last couple of seasons now, and right now they're looking up at the Jaguars and Colts. So it's going to be a battle. We can't become the big brother of the division until we beat the big brother who's taking us down. So I'm looking forward to the matchup. It is in Indianapolis, so it'd be either place he would have played, it would have been inside a dome, so we don't got to worry about the outside elements. But this is the biggest game right here. You saw the Chiefs and Ravens lose on Thursday. Now we need the Texans to lose because that would put them at 6-6 along with those teams, and then the Colts would be 9-3 in the upper echelon of the AFC. So all the division matchups, whatever you got tomorrow, this is probably a top 2 game on the slate. And who would have thought in the AFC South you'd have 3 teams over 500 right now? Not many people to this point, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and Bucs Skull Gang in-house asking, can the Bucs win? What's the key for victory? We just did talk about that. So if you are joining, you could watch a replay after we're done live. Simply hit the replay button, and you could hear us give all our opinions, takes, keys to victory for this Bucs team, and so much more. But thanks for joining Bucs Skull Gang. Keep joining us live, and then when we're done, go back and watch a replay and see what we think the Bucs keys to victories are. J-Lo, speaking of keys to victories, you think the Colts pull one out against the Texans tomorrow? And if so, who leads them to it?
No, I like the Colts to get the victory. I think they're going to be run the ball pretty much with JT. He's just been playing at a high level. I feel JT is going to be the one that wins in the football game on the ground.
I think I agree with that. Colts win behind JT. Cats, what say you? Colts Texans tomorrow, and what should be a fun contest. Texans 4-1 in their last 5, only loss coming to Denver by 3.
I like the Colts in this one at home. This is going to be a very physical, very tough game. The Colts have a great offensive line. What I've seen go up against that Texans nasty defensive line. So I think this will be one on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm thinking either someone on the Colts defense, whether it be DeForest Buckner or Travarius Ward. I'm just naming 2 off the top of my head. It's either one or both of them having a big game. I'm not a huge CJ Stroud guy, so I think you can get some turnovers from them as well.
I love it. And what a secondary, right? You add Sauce Gardner, you have Ward back there, a couple other key cogs too. Just very good stuff that the Colts did, building their depth on the defensive back side of things. You'll love to see that. The Godfather joining us. Good morning, men. El Monito joining us on Facebook Live. It is lively in here on the Buccateers. It's also a Colts win. I'm actually going to go with the very low-scoring battle tomorrow. I'll have 17-16 Colts pulling out by a point. I think with Danny Dimes a little banged up, Texans having the best defense in football, it's going to be a little bit of a tough test. It's going to be a good battle on both sides of the ball, and ultimately I think the Colts are going to have to shore up. I think they're going to have to stay true to their colors, and I think Tyler Warren is going to be a guy who has a nice game tomorrow. I think a nitty-gritty guy who might get some carries involved tomorrow in this type of game, might get a little trick plays his way tomorrow, but Tyler Warren in a 17-16 Colts victory I'm going with. Watch out for a guy from Penn State, make a big impact in a nitty-gritty type game where he knows how to play physical. I'm going with Tyler Warren. Joey, thoughts on that? What say you? Colts score. Who's your player that steps up?
Yeah, I mean, all great predictions when you all pick Colts to win, so I won't complain about any of those, of course. 24-17 Colts. A lot of people, it's the defenses in this game. The defensive ends for Houston between Will Anderson and Green on the other side. They're a very formidable duo. They don't have to really rush more. Hunter, I meant. They don't have to rush more than 4 usually. So how do you stop that? As J-Lo said, Jonathan Taylor, give him the football. Usually when he comes off a week where he doesn't do so great like last week, he will have a big game. So I'm looking forward to that. And Houston offensively, it's weird because they're a completely different team than their defense. Defense is number 1. Offense is lower ranked. So I'll go Jonathan Taylor as a player of the game. The Colts win 24-17 and start to take a little bit of command of the AFC South.
Bud, to answer your question, I think Colts defense plays a great game and doesn't let up a lot of points, but for fantasy purposes, I'd swing for the fences, go for New England. They're
playing the Giants and the famous Jameis.
And I always love that little bit of a Monday night emergency, right? It's like, if you're down 5 or 6 heading into Monday, at least you have a defense left to shore you up. And, yeah, you're against Jackson. Even if Dart does return.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He could return.
But either way, that's the game where I like the Patriots defense. Again, I think the Colts have a nice game, but Texans don't really turn the ball over. I'm going with Patriots. Even if Dart is in there, go with New England, ride the big favorite matchup. We are live here on the Buccateers. We will be back a plethora of times next week. Campus Kickoff will return. Toe in the Line will return to its normal programming as well. We had a great Toe in the Line. Go check that out. Still up for viewing all over, so be sure to check that out if you missed it. To Me Up Tuesday will be back. Cats and I hope to get with our dive into the 813 show next week as well. So loaded upcoming Buccateers schedule. If you're watching, hit that like button. Turn that notification bell on and subscribe. We always do appreciate membership opportunities available now. Get somebody a Christmas gift. Get them a Buccateers YouTube membership. It's only a couple bucks a month for exclusive insights and info from the podcast. And we always appreciate super chats. Never expected, always appreciated super chats are as well. We're going to do a little fun thing now called the Turkey Trot, where we each pick a game from college or NFL that already happened on the previous week's slate to kind of highlight and go over briefly, quickly, 30 seconds or less a piece, kind of give our thoughts as we do the Turkey Trot here as we turn back the clock on the weekend. I'll start Joe Burrow leading the Bengals to a big victory over the Ravens in Joe Burrow's return. It's funny now because the Bengals will do the same thing. They'll win 4 or 5 in a row to end it, end up with 8 or 9 wins, and end up just short of a playoff race that is on the backs of Joe Burrow. But Ravens are in trouble now. Lamar doesn't look the same. Joe Burrow looked great. I'll give my turkey trot to the Bengals with the big Thursday night Thanksgiving win over the Baltimore Ravens. J-Lo, what say you? Could be any game from Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
I'm going to go with the Bears-Philly game. The Bears went in there into Philly's house and beat them in their house by any means necessary. I'm just saying, like, dude, like, Williams played good football and gets a really good defense in Philly. So, to me, the Bears are a team that's coming up right now and to keep a closer eye on than experts thought.
That was a very good step. This is Packers-Bears, whoever wins next Sunday, statement game, right? It's game on that week. Both of these teams are showing really good signs. Take the gloves off because that's going to be fun. But whoa, where am I getting? We got a whole slate of football still this week. Joey, your turkey trot, where are you heading, brother?
Yeah, I mean, I make fun of Jerry Jones a lot, but it's hard to make fun of his team lately because 2 wins in 5 days against both Super Bowl teams that's ever been done in NFL history. I mean, this Dallas has just come to play every time offensively, but defensively they struggled really heavily early on. But after the Quentin Williams trade, they shored up at linebacker as well. It's hard not to give them credit because if you look at the standings now, Philly is 8-4 and Dallas is 6-5-1, and Dallas has the tiebreaker with the win over them. So as much people thought that division race was over, as Lee Corso once said, not so fast, my friends. Give it to Dallas on the turkey.
And what as soon as you want to give Jerry Jones credit, though, he says something so stupid where it's like, bro, don't lie. Like, all of a sudden, I would have traded Micah Parsons and 2 first-round picks for Quentin Williams. Dude, do not lie about it. You made a great trade for Quentin Williams, but now he's trying to say he would have traded Micah Parsons and 2 first-round picks before the year for Quentin Williams. It's like, bro, you take 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Like, come on, give it up.
Don't get me wrong. It's all about giving Dallas credit. If a chicken wing would have went the wrong way on Jerry Jones, it wouldn't have bothered me.
We'll say a turkey leg for the season, but holy shit. Cats, what's one game that happened this past week that we might not have brought up yet that caught your eye, brother?
You got to give Green Bay a lot of credit. They sweep the season series from the Lions. You go in there on the road on Thanksgiving. I think you got to give Matt LaFleur a lot of credit. He coached very aggressively in that game. On the road, that's how you have to do it, especially in the division. He did. Jordan Love played quite well. Their defense did enough. And, now they've put the Lions in a pretty precarious spot and put themselves in control of their own destiny.
Yeah, it's kind of really spooky, right? Because you have teams like the Texans, Ravens, Lions, Chiefs, who are usually right there at day's end in the playoff picture, kind of muddling around right now, that 500 mark, kind of seeing if they'll end up being in the playoffs. It's weird because Chiefs, Lions, Texans, Ravens are frequent flyers these days in the playoffs, and all 4 of it are currently hovering on the will they get in train. Even the Bills are right there as well. But it is rivalry week, college football week 14. Hard to believe the last regular season week of college football on the year. Sad stuff. We'll go ahead now and do our college football spread them if you got them for rivalry week. Once again, crazy that we're already in week 14, week 15 of games if you count week 0. Remember, campus kickoff will be back next week with your college football quickie show. Be on the lookout for that. Joey, you start us off with a big one. Noon Eastern, number 1 ranked Ohio State minus 9.5, and number 15th ranked Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, this is what a start to the day, as they always do at 11 o'clock. I was trying to post a comment here. It didn't work. Sorry. It'll be up there now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so 11 o'clock, Ohio State, Michigan. The spread is huge. And since we do spreads here on College Game Day for our show, not the one on the 4-letter network, I'm going with Michigan covering the 9.5. This is in Ann Arbor. It's going to be a little bit sloppy out there. I'm not a huge fan of Ohio State's offense. Plus, I have just some ill hate for Ryan Day. So give me Michigan in the points.
J-Lo, noon Eastern, a battle in Texas rivalry week edition. Houston +3 at Baylor.
I like Houston. I like Houston on the road. Give me the Houston Cougars.
Cats, a battle of Kentucky as Kentucky travels to Louisville. Kentucky +1, noon Eastern, and a toss-up over there.
Hey, Louisville.
Joey, Dabo and Clemson travel to South Carolina in a rivalry over there. South Carolina -2.5 home favorites against Dabo, Sweeney, and company.
Man, at the beginning of the year, this should have been a much better game than it ended up being on this final week of football. You know what? Give me South Carolina.
J-Lo, noon Eastern, 7th-ranked Texas Tech hoping to keep their playoff hopes alive as they travel to West Virginia.
Oh, Texas Tech should be able to take care of business and pretty much mop the floor of West Virginia.
Cats, this is a fun one. Miami, number 13th ranked Miami is -7 as they travel to 24th ranked Pittsburgh. At home, Pittsburgh is 7-point underdogs, noon Eastern. That'll be a fun game.
Home underdog, Pittsburgh. Give me Pittsburgh on that one. I don't know if they'll win outright. Give them to cover that.
I love it. Joey, 1 o'clock Eastern. You get Scott Frost in Central Florida +17.5 at 11th ranked BYU.
Oh, yeah. I mean, give me BYU. I'll keep it nice and simple.
J-Lo, you get the fight in Anthony Gators who clinched the bowl game looking for 7 wins, -11.5 FIU at Sam Houston, 1 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, FIU should be able to take care of Sam Houston. Sam Houston's not a good team this year. FIU should get their 7th win. Go Cougars.
Cats coming to you in a battle of the Northeast, 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 struggling teams. Boston College -3 at Syracuse. Disappointing year for both of these clubs, but a fun rivalry.
I'll pick Syracuse for Sean Tucker. I want him to be pleased.
Yeah, let's go. I love that. I love it. I like it a lot. Joey, 3:30 Eastern, LSU +11. They've looked better as of late from changing quarterbacks and firing coaches. LSU is +11 at 8th-ranked Oklahoma at 3:30 Eastern.
Yeah, I mean, any chance you can get Brian Kelly out of the building, it's a good thing. Hopefully they could get his kid out next because he seems to be a loser as well. That's a big spread. I'm going to still take Oklahoma to cover, but just barely. They'll win by 14.
J-Lo, 3:30 Eastern, game of the day, 12th-ranked Vanderbilt +2.5 at 18th-ranked Tennessee.
Tough one. I'm going to go with Vanderbilt on the road. I like where Clark Lee's done with his program, especially with the quarterback at play. I think Vanderbilt will get it done and get the upset over Tennessee.
Cats, you get Penn State. This seems like a huge spread. Penn State -13.5 at the Fighting Greg Schiano's of Rutgers. This Penn State spread keeps growing week to week. It seems 3:30 Eastern. That game is Cats. Who will get bowl eligibility? The winner will.
That is a big number, but I still like Penn State to win and cover that number.
They're playing really good, so I agree with you there, brother. Joey, 3:30 Eastern, a fun rivalry. 5th-ranked Oregon travels to Washington. Oregon laying a touchdown.
Yeah, who would have thought a Big Ten game be taking place on the West Coast in the nicer weather, but here we are. I think Oregon blows them on. I know Washington's played pretty good football this year, but I think Oregon wins by a couple touchdowns.
J-Lo, this is weird to say, but 20th-ranked James Madison looks to keep their playoff hopes alive as they travel to Coastal Carolina. James Madison -23.5 on the road, 3:45 Eastern.
I like James Madison. I don't think it'll be by that big of a margin, but I think James Madison pulls out the win.
Cats, a battle of Florida, your home turf, 4:30 Eastern. Florida State +1 at Florida.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Florida here.
Joey,
Awesome.
we're doing this. I like that. I like Florida at home. I mean, what do they got to lose? Joey, I like this one because it's a fun one. This is actually the second game they play this year, 6:30 Eastern, because it's only a two-team conference until next year. Oregon State beat Washington State the first time. This time Oregon State plus 13.5 at Washington State, the only two teams that play in the regular season in college football history twice.
And it's on the almighty CW network. Give me Washington State to get the matchup and even it up here in a big win.
Tyler Warren is now questionable with an illness. That'll be something to watch. He's a tough SOB, so he'll play. But I just got that alert. My player of the game for the Colts does have an illness, it seems. 7 o'clock Eastern, J-Lo. Virginia Tech, James Franklin and co. plus 8 at 17th ranked Virginia.
I let Virginia at home to take care of business and beat Virginia Tech.
ACATS, could this be Alex Kolish's last game? USF minus 28 points at home against Rice, 7 o'clock Eastern.
Unfortunately, from what I gather, it will be his last game. And I do think I will pick USF to win and cover. It seems like a huge number. I still like them to win and cover that.
Joe, you get the Iron Bowl, 7:30 Eastern, 10th ranked Alabama minus 5.5 at Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, this is a must win for Alabama. It's always a great rivalry game. Remember a lot of them in the Cam Newton days and long before that. Just a fun matchup usually to watch. I'll go with Alabama, though. They just simply need it that much more, so they'll cover.
J-Lo, 7:30 Eastern, Charlotte plus 30 on the road at 22 ranked Tulane, as Tulane hopes to keep their playoff hopes alive.
I let Tulane winning big at home, even with the summer all, moving to another university talks, but give me Tulane at home.
ACAT's a Big Ten battle in California, 7:30 Eastern. UCLA travels to USC. USC is ranked 19, minus 21.5.
21. Give me UCLA to cover that. It's a big number in a rivalry game.
Love it. Joey, 8 o'clock Eastern, 25th ranked SMU, minus 13.5 at Cal. Cal just relieved their coach of his duties earlier this week.
Yeah, and that's about all the relieving they'll get out of that team this weekend. So give me SMU on the road in a big win.
J-Lo, take us home in the world of college ball, 10:30 Eastern, number 9th ranked Fighting Irish and Notre Dame, minus 32 points at Stanford, who just found their head coach.
Oh, yeah, Notre Dame's going to blow them out of the water.
Notre Dame in a big one there, hopefully. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern, ACATS, you kick us off with NFL action. 49ers at Cleveland. This is without spread for Red House Pick'em at 49ers at Cleveland.
49ers playing good football now.
Joey, you get Saints at Dolphins, 1 o'clock Eastern in Miami.
Yeah, this is a type of game where the announced crew, good luck.
Dick Stockton game.
Hopefully, Dick Stockton, Doris Burke, and the gang. No, give me Miami. They're on a little bit of a heater.
J-Lo, Atlanta at the New York Jets, 1 o'clock Eastern.
Sloppy game coming up right here, but I think Atlanta pulls out the win on the road.
Cats, one of the games of the day. Rams at Panthers of Carolina, 1 o'clock Eastern.
I'll take the Rams in this one. It might be somewhat close, but I don't even think it will be.
Joey, this is a good battle for you. Hopefully the Titans could upset the Jaguars as they host them tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern.
You know what? Obviously, this is partially heart, but the Titans have lost a lot of games this year. They are at home. Trevor Lawrence just turns the ball over a lot. He has 11 interceptions to 14 touchdowns. I'm just going to go with it now. If you're looking for a big money line bet tomorrow, just to sprinkle a few bucks on, nothing crazy. Don't empty out that Christmas spending that's coming up or whatever holiday you celebrate out there. But take the Titans money line for a few bucks. I'll go a 3-point win for Tennessee.
J-Lo, 4:05 Eastern, Vikings travel to Seattle.
Come a revenge tour for Sam Darnold, and I think he's going to pound the Vikings at home. Give me Seattle.
ACATS, 4:25 Eastern, Raiders head to LA to take on the Chargers.
Give me the Chargers.
Joey, 425 in a potential playoff battle. Buffalo travels to Pittsburgh.
With Tony Romo at the call, Jim, I don't know. This is really, to me, whoever wins this game. I mean, Pittsburgh needs it badly because of the division race. Baltimore, I mean, even Cincinnati. If Pittsburgh loses this game, a 4-8 Cincinnati team is lurking to both 6-6. That's not out of the question yet. Give me Buffalo, though. They're just the better football team, and they have the best player on the field than Josh Allen.
J-Lo, 8:20 Eastern, Sunday Night Football. The Broncos of Denver travel to the Commandos of Washington.
I like Denver. Denver is a much healthier team, better team at this point right now against the Commanders.
Cats take us home, 8:15 Monday Night Football, former Super Bowl rematch. The Giants travel to New England.
Give me New England.
Quick fantasy football mash report time before we get to breadwinners' final words for today's program. It's been a really fun one, Joey. If you could only choose one of these guys to start at the running back or at the flex spot, I'm sorry, not the running back position. At the flex spot, are you starting Darnell Mooney? Once again, they're without Drake London. Are you starting Wan'Dale Robinson, or are you starting Woody Marks?
Who does Atlanta play again?
They're at the Jets.
I'll take Mooney.
J-Lo in a 2 QB league is QB2. Are you playing Tyrod Taylor versus Atlanta or Shador Sanders versus San Fran?
I'm going to go with Tyrod. I think Tyrod will have a better game than Shador against the 49ers defense.
Hey, Cats, what one of the Cardinals running backs would you rather play if you were handcuffed, Michael Carter or Bam Zonovan Knight in fantasy football against the Bucs?
Oh, Michael Carter.
And there you go. That's our goodie but a quickie of the MASH report. Time for final word and breadwinners. We are 52-27 on the year in breadwinners, plus $418. We'll continue that trend today. Hopefully, J-Lo, final word and breadwinner from you, my friend.
Final word is that last week of college football for a lot of teams that have had bad years like mine and some others. But I'm going to go out there and root for my team to beat the Knowles. It's pretty much rivalry week. I hope and pray the Gators will play with a lot of pride going into the next season. And also, Bucs, I'm praying Baker stays healthy. Hopefully, they game plan not for him to be running around throwing the football as much. Hopefully, they'll be running the ball down the Cardinals' throats. And like I said, guys, good chatting up with you guys. Until next time. And then my breadwinner, I'm going to go with SMU on the spread on the points.
SMU spread for J-Lo's breadwinner. Love it, love it, love it. Joey, what say you? Final word for the program and breadwinner for the program, brother, as we look to keep the good times roll.
Yeah, I need 2 wins in my life today. One of them is Notre Dame. I think if they win, after putting up 70 last week, they'll make the playoff. And then John Cena, one of his last matches in wrestling for his career, ends on December 13th. After 25 years of greatness, I hope he gets a big win for the Intercontinental tonight on one of WWE's biggest pay-per-views of the year. So that's what I'll be looking for tonight. And my breadwinner, I'm going straight to tomorrow. I'm putting the pressure on myself and my team. No messing around. Give me the Indianapolis Colts money line at home. They cannot afford to push this one away. I am sick of Houston. I still remember when Stroud was talking shit a couple years back. So bring it on. Let's get them down. And to be quite honest with you, this is just a tidbit. There was chatter this week in Houston about almost the Thunder kind of wanting Davis Mills because he won 3 in a row. So I'm coming after you, Stroud. And we're getting that win, Colts money line. And that's my breadwinner and final word.
Jeez, if you want Davis Mills, oh boy, I know
fans get crazy when you win a few games in a row. I'm telling you, they just. That's why I said fans, not reporters, not radio, nothing like that.
I mean, I will give him credit, impressive, but it's like, Jesus, if that's where we're at. Cats, what say you on breadwinner thoughts and final words, my friend?
Breadwinner, give me Seattle. What's the spread on that?
That game is Seattle is minus Let me see. I had it up.
They're minus 11.5. I have.
Yes.
You know what? Even though it seems like a big number, give me Seattle to cover that. Minnesota's so banged up with Rossmer, is that his name? A quarterback, whoever it is. Yeah, Seattle there. A final word. Let's go Bucs. You know, a lot of fans seem to have given up. I don't like that really. I don't like people who just give up on a season when you're a little bit more than half over and you've hit a rough patch. A week-to-week league. Let's get a win tomorrow. Go Bucs and fuck all those people that have given up.
I love that, Cats. Fuck him. And it's been too
You ain't
many
a true fan if you gave up. That's just the bottom line. We play for the tomorrow. We don't play for next year.
Exactly. I hate seeing that shit, especially with all the shitty seasons we've had where we were eliminated basically by Halloween. So people need to sometimes put a little perspective into it and show a little bit more fucking gratitude to the team and give a little bit more leeway as well. And realize that it's in front of us still. It's been a rough 3 weeks. It's been a rough injury season, but it's all in front of us still. And rather than give up, people need to remember that sometimes. And unfortunately, a lot of our fans don't. Maybe it's all fan bases, but that's how our fans. I've seen a lot of it, and I'm sick of it. So let's go Bucs.
Couldn't agree more, and that was well said. That was perfect, honestly. I don't know how I could sum it up better than that. And to stick with that, I'm going to go with Buccaneers money line, FIU money line parlay. If you bet 10 on it, that would pay out $12.
Say that one more time, please.
Buccaneers and FIU money line parlay I am going with. If you put 10 on it, it pays out about $13. So we will go with that. Olivia's saying, yes, a Cats true fan. And speaking of us, we are all true fans. Cats, that was a great rant as we log off here on the Buccateers. So once again, breadwinners, J-Lo's got SMU spread. Joey's got Colts money line. Cats got Seahawks spread. Tones has Bucs, FIU money line parlay. Good luck, Notre Dame. Good luck, Penn State. Good luck fighting Anthony Gators, Buccaneers, Colts, the rest of our teams. Fire the damn cannons. You're Gators too, J-Lo, even though but what can you do? It's rivalry week. We'll see y'all next time here on the Buccateers. Fire the damn cannons. Have a great day, everybody. Peace. Enjoy the holiday season. Up, foot's out. We're out. Bro, we'll put it like that. What's it like? I was actually there in attendance in Cleveland for Coe's first career NFL touchdown, which was awesome. And,
Awesome.
It was a great game. You could hear me on camera. I was just screaming, say it ain't so, Coe. Say it ain't so. Sadly, from there, the game kind of went off the rails a little. That was the last high moment of that game. But it was a great game. Overtime loss, fun time.
Yeah.
How was that moment for you? Seeing the first, whether it was on TV, in person, wherever you were, seeing his first NFL touchdown. How was that?
Well, dude, I mean, we were at home because it was a away game. We don't travel to a lot of the away games because we can get into that later. But, to watch that and to think I wished I was there live. So to have your video was so cool. And just say, this is so cool. I mean, that was so cool for us. Catching it from Tom Brady, right? Like, he's got the ball yet. I mean, first NFL touchdown means a lot, right? I mean, as a dad, this is so cool to see. And it's just, it was fun to watch. And, it didn't have the outcome we wanted, but still the same. What a memory. What a memory to have, right? So,
and honestly,
cool.
those one of the best guests ever, the Buccateers in the house. You guys hear him on Tampa radio all the time. He's one of the best in the business. My favorite personal in the business. That's why I'm elated tonight. Growing up in the Chicago area, you're used to sports radio. That's what gets me through the day. So this man does help get me through the day, I will say, with the Pat and Aaron show at work. Nothing like it. So it's incredible. It looks like we got Stunna bumbling in. I'm Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second
until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by
It
Pat
looks like
Donovan.
Son is hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like you got a little.
No, my camera's broke.
And he was trying to pull me in big time. And then I was like, hey, you know, nothing's happened with Indianapolis yet. Like, I really want to give Indy a chance. And then also I talked to Cody Bruton, you know, once he took over Rich McCann, still like, well, look, I was like, y'all just give me the opportunity to explore free agency, see what's going on, and then come out and make it do it.
All right, everyone, you are tuned into the Buccateers, a wide receiver, Kalen Geiger, and we are about to have a great pod.